Yes, it's the 214th episode of the Mina's House podcast. I'm Mina SayWhat.
Dexter Stuckey.
So we're waiting on Garnett, and then Shana's going to join us a little later. We're all over the place today, okay? But we have a special guest hopefully joining us today, DeRay Davis, comedian, actor, all kinds of stuff, okay? Stand-up comic, all of that. He will be joining us later on in the show, and Garnett should be joining us shortly in a couple of minutes. So what's been going on with you, Dex? I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks.
And it's been forever since we did our last podcast. Nothing much, just working from home, which like it's weird because I was like I'm adamant about working from home, and now that I'm doing it, I'm a little bored. Like I'm kind of bored working from home. I want the option to go into an office if I want to.
Well, President Biden wants everybody to go back to work when gas is like $6.
Isn't that crazy?
So are you ready to go back to work this week? Actually, it was like my first time like setting foot in New York, because I have two jobs. I have a job at a station in Philly, and then my other job is in New York.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally this week my first time going back to the studios in New York. And I will never forget, it was exactly 2 years ago in March.
Yes.
I had interviewed Rich the Kid on a Friday, and then by Monday, the world had shut down.
Mm-hmm. What are we, like, this is March 9th. So this weekend was the Millennium Tour. I was at the Millennium Tour. Ashanti was there. And after that, the very next week, we went to work, and they were like, yeah, you guys go home and take your laptops home. We're going to be home for 2 weeks. And 2 weeks turned into me not even working there anymore. Like it's just
That's hilarious. So I mean, people are starting to go back to work, and masks are being lifted everywhere in schools all over the country. I feel like people are going back to normal. It's crazy. I went to Florida. I was on vacation. I went to Universal Studios, and not one damn person in Florida was wearing a damn mask. Like, the people wearing masks, like me and my family, were like the oddballs.
Yes.
And no one else had a mask on.
That's me in the grocery store now. Nobody in Philadelphia is wearing masks anymore either. They're like done with them.
They've been doing that. Well, hi y'all. But listen,
Garnett is joining the pod.
We all know Florida ain't been off of that, man. Florida is they've been rebels of this whole nation. They do their own thing. So shouldn't have been surprised about that. But how do y'all feel? I haven't wore a mask in like so long outside of me being in an Uber.
Really? I wore a mask today.
I always wear a mask. Actually, I had like an anxiety attack yesterday because I'm like, I'm going to try not to do the mask. So I took it off before I walked into the store, and I couldn't do it. I put it back on there. I was like, I'm not ready for it yet. It's going to take me some time.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I think it was International Women's Day this week.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to like a networking event, and like I forgot to put my mask on, and then there was a moment where I was literally like, oh my God, I'm in a room filled with people and no one got a mask on.
Yeah.
So I still have those moments where I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Garnett, you haven't worn a mask in 2 months, huh?
Since like COVID was really popping back in December when I was going to go show houses, I was trying to make sure everybody was all right. But yeah, that was the last time I like really was like, you know what, let me just throw a mask on and make people feel comfortable. But
so the $1 million question is, did you ever get COVID?
Not that I know of, no.
That's craziness.
And I've been tested multiple times. Nothing. Been on planes. I only like truly felt sick one time, and maybe that was it, but it was literally like a 24-hour bug. So from what I heard from everybody that experienced it, like it wasn't that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Having the chills for like one night, and that was like when we first got shut down, probably about 2 months into it, like that kind of happened. But it was like literally 24 hours. I took some like Mucinex, and I was good to go the next day.
Dex, did you ever get it?
No, I never got it, but I also like didn't leave the house, got vaccinated, wore a mask every day. So it's like...
And Shana never got it either, right?
Yeah,
I don't know what Shana.
I don't know, right? Because Shana was just saying. I definitely had that shit. I had it.
It gave me a whole new outlook on life, though. Like not being sick, because usually I'm sick at least once a quarter, real bad for about 3 days. That's been like my entire life. Since all of this is going down, I can't remember the last time like I was like sick, like a few days. Let me knock on wood. Just to protect myself. But
right, you'll get it tomorrow.
right. But yeah, definitely gave me a lot more confidence about going out in the world around people that's sick. So I don't know.
All right. So let's hop into what's in our feed. There was a big story today about Ryan Coogler, who is the director of Black Panther. He's also done Creed. So he walks into a Bank of America in Atlanta and tries to withdraw $12,000 of his own money. He slides a note to the bank teller because obviously you're not going to yell to all of the Bank of America in Atlanta, give me $12,000. You want to discreetly ask for your money, right? So he writes it on a piece of paper. The bank teller thinks he's a bank robber because he has his mask on. He has his shades on. You know, it's COVID. This was back in January. So calls the cops. The cops arrest him at the Bank of America where he's trying to get $12,000 of his own money. I don't understand why they didn't ask for an ID. They didn't ask him to verify his PIN. This man is out here making award-winning films, getting locked up at the Bank of America for trying to withdraw his own money. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you got to find a better way to ask for your own money. You're treating this like a robbery. Don't slide on no. We watch mad movies. This is how it's done. Why are you? It's your money. I understand it may be people around, but come on, like what? Like you probably scaring somebody. Now, was it shown? Was he wearing a mask? Does he have one of them poo shites?
He had a mask on because you're supposed to wear masks.
Right.
You understand? Well, I mean,
he said that he looked like Pooh Shiesty.
Yeah, he had the Pooh Shiesty mask. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Pooh Shiesty can't have $12,000 in the bank.
No, I'm just saying
he can't go into the bank with the mask on.
Man, you got to set yourself up for success, not failure. Like, come on now. One, you had the mask on. You didn't show ID. If you could go in there with a mask on, knowing that they may say, "Hey, pull down your mask," show your ID. Don't just give them a letter. Say a note saying, "Hey, listen, I need 12 grand." Yeah, that sounds like a stick up to me. So
that went left. I didn't expect that answer at all.
Me neither. But you know what? I don't disagree with it though. But I will say, who's the happiest right now?
Who?
Bank of America. Bank of America was like, "Wait, this happened?" And they were like, "Who did it?" And they were like, "Oh, it's the pregnant Black woman." They said, "Whew, we gonna get in trouble for this one. We good." If it was a white woman, it's gonna be hell to pay. But it's a pregnant Black woman, they're not gonna do nothing. You good.
Yo, but my boyfriend had a similar situation where Bank of America was withholding his money too. I don't know what's going on with Bank of America.
Did he write his stuff on a piece of paper?
No. No. They closed his account out of nowhere. They shouldn't have closed his account. They closed his account by mistake because he had lost a debit card to another account. So instead of closing the account for the debit card that he lost, they ended up closing all of his accounts. And then when he tried to go get his money, they said, "We can't give you your money." They were like, "What?"
Do you know what this is? This is people that work in the Bank of America, but they're working from home. So they're doing the stuff from home. That's why Joe said it's time to go back to work. You got to get back in the office because y'all making mistakes.
Yeah, man. I just think this is crazy. It just goes to show it doesn't matter how much money you make. People are always gonna assume certain things of you if you look a certain way. I mean, what is it? If he had all Gucci on, would have treated him like that? They would have locked him up if he had all Louis Vuitton on, all Gucci on and stuff?
It's the locking him up part too. Like, it's not like he threatened you with a gun or anything. He just said, "Hey, can you discreetly give me this money?"
Right. And they should have verified who he was.
Because even if it was somebody who was a bank robber, I would assume that you wouldn't just flip the switch while they're in there. Maybe you just do what they say, give them the money, and then flip the switch so that you're not putting yourself in danger. This whole thing just feels a little like weird to me.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. In other weird news, Cameron Diaz is saying that she doesn't wash her face. She said she washes it twice a month if she's lucky. I don't know what it is with these celebrities not properly cleansing themselves. First, it was the other girl that was saying she don't shower. And now Cameron Diaz don't wipe the coal out her eye first thing in the morning. What do you think about this? Is this dirty not to wash your face every day?
Garnett, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I just would assume. Yeah, you probably should wash your damn face every day. I mean, I don't know. I only see her on TV. I would love to see her in person to see if that's really working for her. Um, you know, on TV she seems fine. She has the makeup. I don't really have a real explanation on why you want to do something like that.
So like in the shower, you'd be like, what are you doing in the shower? Like what? How are you?
She wear the Pooh Shiesty mask, man. That's what she.
Everybody got the mask on. Stop wearing masks. The theme of this podcast is you don't need to wear no mask. Because how are you avoid? You know what though? If she don't wash her face, I can guarantee you she does not wash her legs, and she don't get the back either. She don't wash her back.
No. But it actually begs a different question now that you actually bring that up. How many times a week you think she brush her teeth?
Or take a shower.
Right.
Yeah, this is.
Or clean her belly button.
Damn, Cameron Diaz, right?
Going out real bad.
You know what it is? It has to be some rich people thing where you go and get a facial like 2 or 3 times a week, because you're Cameron Diaz. Like she's a model. Girl, you can't have no blackheads on the side of your nose. Wash your face.
And why did you tell people that?
Why does anybody reveal any of this? Taylor Swift was saying that she doesn't wash her legs in the shower. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And you know what's crazy? I started asking people, like, is that uncommon? Do people do that? And there are people that said, no, I don't do that. And I don't use soap. I mean, I don't use like a wash rag or whatever. I just use soap. And like, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it is always good to know what people's hygiene habits are. But sometimes it's like, I start looking at people totally different when I learn their hygiene habits.
Yeah, and then when they smell a little bit, you know why.
Exactly.
You ain't scrubbed right. Do you wash every day, Garnett?
Yes.
Your face?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I wash my face when I brush my teeth. You gotta that's like
it's like a routine.
Yes, it's like hand in hand. You gotta wipe the coal out your eye. I mean, but also my life is different. I don't have $40 million like sitting around in the bank or something like that. Like I can't just get up and go get a facial when I want to. I gotta be presentable, baby. And this is how I was raised. I don't know how she was raised. I don't know what new skin regimen she's going through and she's in. Shout out to her for that. But as far as me and mine, yeah, we definitely wash our face.
This is not new. I guess the conversation, this was a podcast and the conversation was about vanity, and her being a model, they were having a conversation about vanity and she was like, she's not vain at all. She's like, sometimes I don't even wash my face. I don't know. There's a difference between vanity and cleanliness.
Right. That's not the flex you think that it is.
Right. So I think that's like the conversation, about how it went down that road. I don't understand it though, but different people, different cultures, different people, they do different things. My face is too oily to not wash my face. I'll have 5 pimples tomorrow. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how her life is set up. Everybody built a little different. I'm built like that. I gotta, do that. I have to make sure that that's happening. If not, then yeah, it's gonna be oily. It's gonna be a lot going on. So
I'm looking at pictures of her now, and this, I don't know. I never noticed how attractive Cameron Diaz was.
Yeah, she's pretty. What do you mean you never noticed?
I guess I never really paid attention to her like that. I don't know. I don't know why, but
what? Did you, Garnett?
What?
Did you know how pretty she is? She's a model.
No, yeah, she's just she's very attractive. Yeah,
she's very, even in her older age, she looks very good. Yeah, she's aged very well.
Hold on, let me double check and make sure I know who Cameron Diaz is.
Oh my goodness,
definitely
know. Yeah, so no. She was actually ridiculous in The Mask. If y'all remember,
I remember her in The Mask. Yeah, but I guess I was paying more attention to The Mask than I was to her. This is wow.
I wasn't. I was young and paying attention to her.
That now that you say The Mask, that makes me think, how do you not wash your face and put a mask on? You gonna have mad stuff on your nose, like pimples, all kinds of rashes. That's nasty. And
you were an actress and a model, so when they would put makeup on your face, you would just leave it on there until what happens?
I don't get it. All right, our guest is joining us shortly. Before he comes on, I definitely want to talk about this. So Nicki Minaj did an interview with Joe Budden, And she was talking about her influence in music and fashion. And she was saying that I deserve to be on the cover of US Vogue because of my influence in fashion. And so does Little Kim.
Nicki Minaj said that?
Yeah, Nicki Minaj said that.
Huh?
So she said, when you go on Instagram, you literally see both of their influence on Instagram, which I thought was amazing because I hated when they had issues with each other. I just think Nicki's kind of like in a new space to me. It seems like since she's been a mom, and I'm just loving everything. Like she's hanging out with Drake, talking about Drake executive producing her album, saying Little Kim needs to be on the cover of US Vogue. I'm just loving where Nicki is mentally right now. And I really love that she shouted out Little Kim. I think it's like a step in the direction of reconciliation for them.
So Nicki Minaj thinks that her and Lil' Kim should be on the cover of Vogue because people emulate their poses on Instagram.
Wait, not together, but like
just in general. Like you,
like
you should have that because people.
I don't think it's about poses. I think it's about fashion, right?
People are wearing the same clothes as you on Instagram. That's why you should do them.
I guess her style. Yeah, the style, or maybe, you know, the hair. I mean, Little Kim definitely set the trend for that. Or the different styles, all Fendi. Remember?
I think she should surely make the Shade Room. Like the Shade Room should post her for doing that and say she's a fashion icon. Vogue.
What?
I think that might be. I don't understand.
You don't think Little Kim belongs on the cover of Vogue?
Like what? Like because of what though? Like for me, I mean, I assume that in fashion, like Vogue is like a really big deal. Like this is like the mecca.
Yeah, it's Anna Wintour.
Yeah, so like no. Like we're not doing that. Like Lil' Kim don't even get invited to the Met Gala. So like, why are we putting her on the magazine?
Don't do that. Hello, how did you just spin that? We're talking about the positivity that Nicki Minaj is putting out into the world here.
I know, but it's kind of like let's just relax a little bit. I think that you should say like we should be respected for our fashion, our influence, and I agree with that. But like, why do you have to say Vogue? Like, why you gotta like? I don't get it.
I like her doubling down on it because she has a valid point to me. And I think she's using the Kanye approach, which is smart because it worked for him, I believe. When he first got with Kim and he just was like going at the whole industry, she deserves a star on, Hollywood Boulevard. She deserves to be on the cover of Vogue. And if I'm not mistaken, did that ever happen?
Multiple times.
Yeah, and that was my next point. If Kim Kardashian can be on the cover of Vogue, why not Nicki Minaj and Little Kim?
I think if we put it like that, and if we say since you lowered the bar and put Kim Kardashian on there, why can't you lower it even more and throw me on there? Like that's what this gives to me.
I don't think it's lower. I just think it changed. It's no longer the same bar. Like she brings up a good point as far as using Instagram and how like their influence, the way that they came in the game has actually influenced how we view a lot of the world, whether it be, the hip hop culture or, girls that's this is just what they do. But, I understand where she's coming from and why not? Why not, make a statement like that so you can at least bring attention to the stuff that you want. And, they may be able to set up a conversation and a meeting and see what happens from there. But she's definitely super influential for the women from our generation. Yeah.
And
I was just focusing on the fact that Nicki is shouting out Little Kim. I think that's like a step in the right direction, right?
I think so, because I think their feud was unnecessary.
There you go, Dex. Yeah,
I mean, I don't even remember what started it. Do you remember?
I just remember they just used to take jabs at each other, and then it just was kind of like
it's the fact that she was a woman.
Really, that's what it was.
I really think it was the fan bases. That would be an interesting conversation. Like, what really started the issue?
She's a woman. She's a woman that's coming in the game and kind of like taking the crown. And it happens with men too, in a sense, right? But with women, it gets highlighted because there's not a lot of, women like super dominate in the space and that are similar. Usually women will come in and they'll be different and that's why they're elevating. But it's like, no, she took a page out of her book. She's one of, Little Kim's babies, quote unquote. And, she elevated it. And, just like you said, I think the fans more so the hip hop
Yeah.
culture looked at it was like, oh, she's trying to be a her, she's trying to be in.
Yeah.
At the
I
end of
think
the
I
day,
think the fans definitely had a lot to do with it, but I think Nicki made it worse when she started putting those records out and murdering Lil Kim on those records. She would eat the girl up so badly. I feel like it ain't no way we ever gonna be friends after hearing that.
That's what I'm saying. I think Nicki has really grown. I'm
Yes,
seeing
I
a
think so
different
too.
side of her, because from her to go from that to now out of nowhere shouting Kim out, I haven't read anything. I don't believe there's been a conversation where they've mended things. So for Nicki to come out of nowhere and be an advocate for her because she has set trends, I think Little Kim set the trend so early that the fashion world doesn't even know that she said it because it was set so early.
And by like a Black woman at the time who they definitely weren't paying attention to.
Right. And she definitely didn't have like the mainstream success that Nicki had.
Right.
So that's why I think that the rest of the world doesn't really know her contribution, when Little Kim, in fact, did contribute to a lot of the fashion and the things that we're seeing now. And she did that back in the 90s and early 2000s. And DeRay Davis is joining us. Yay. Hey, D. Oh, he's still trying to get it together. So comedian, actor, producer, and he's connecting to audio. DeRay Davis, who's currently on the No Cap Comedy Tour, is joining us. Welcome.
What up? What up? Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Finally, man.
What's going on with you? Where you at in the world?
I'm in LA, man. I'm in the studio. We working.
What you recording?
We doing a little bit of music.
I'll check you out.
What are you doing? Music, DeRay Davis?
Yeah, man. I've always been involved since I was probably 8 years old. But comedy took off so fast, and then I had a lot of friends doing. I was watching the struggle within music, and at the time I was propelling. I was rocket shipping. So a lot of things like that I wanted to do, like as far as like being creative, got a little lost. But I'm having fun, man. I'm glad I ain't got no heavy labels on my neck and everything. Like it feels good.
Now, is it like rapping or like singing?
Both.
Okay.
That's some really nice. Actually, you know, it's crazy. About almost 2 years ago, I had my friend Cheto, who's my producing guy. I've known for many, many years. And I ran back into him on Twitter on accident. You know, we fall in this Twitter world. And it was a beat, and I didn't even know that was him. I just started rapping to the beat and messing with it. I looked it up, and he's like, yo, we met like 5 years ago. I was signed to this guy. So he sent me all these tracks, and I messed with a few of them, but still my heart wasn't in it because I was still competing with acting in my mind, and comedy and acting always was taking up so much time, and fatherhood, all, you know, of course, that's the thread through the whole fabric of life. But I kept one beat, I rapped it, I did what I do. I did it real fast. I had a good time, and I held it for a long time. I put it up like on all the streaming services, but I never promoted it because I was like, I'm gonna get that. The hell is he doing? Exactly her question, but in a meaner way,
right?
In a more Black Twitter way.
I have the ability to ask the questions in a nice way.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm dark. Is that right here? I was keeping myself in the shadows. I like to be dark skinned in my mind. I like to think I'm a sexy chocolate man sometimes. But I recorded it, and then all this hype was coming with the Snowfall was coming out, and then Kanye died, and then something else was dropping. And I was like, yo, it's my birthday week too. Let me see. Because I gave Sway a record not too long ago, and he's been playing it for almost 5 months, but I haven't uploaded that song to any streaming service. So he plays it every morning. He's playing this record. I'm not getting nothing from it. And not that money's, but I mean, not even a following.
Right.
And they did the put him in a bench or put him in a game. And everybody who called said put him in a game. But then I'm still thinking, I'm DeRay. Are these fans of DeRay, or they really like the record?
Right.
Yeah, but sometimes it doesn't even matter. Look at what happened to Lil Duval.
True, but Duval, I've been knowing Duval since we were young too. And Duval he's an island boy. You know what I'm saying? He's always had some music in him too. So I've heard me and Duval sat in the car for hours while I listened to his songs when people weren't listening to him. He caught a good Future playing his record on top of Snoop being on a record on top of the hype is timing for a lot of stuff. Plus, the music has to be good. I don't care who you are, how it had to make people feel some kind of way, which was a great way during the time we needed it at the time too. Living my best life, and we all was actually low key broke. Singing the hell out that song.
In the house,
And I was
scared
like,
to death
I mean,
to
we
go
didn't even know
outside.
it. We didn't even know we were about to be broke. He performed that at my New
Absolutely.
Year's Eve show that I throw, and we in there partying, thinking 2020 gonna be the best year ever, and that was it. So yeah, man. So Duval had, that's a good groove, and everything's organic with the record. So it felt that way, but this felt better. Like this vibe right now, it just felt better. And even though it's not one of my best well-written records, when I see my nieces, my nephews, my little cousins who are like 10 and under, and the beat is playing and they love it, I'm like, forget what everybody else thinks.
Right.
It's about how your spirit is. And these kids have no bills, no thought, nobody's trying to mess up their day. They like this song. So it takes a lot to make a Barney, or that vibe that Nelly gave. I'm going down. But we as adults love to hear it. So I made a song like that, and it did good. And
let's hear a bar though. Let's hear a bar.
I've been on these records for a while. A bar, one bar,
right, a bar.
Hershey's. There go your bar, right? One bar. If we can make it all bars, I pitched that too. I pitched that to Jesse Collins because we did a BT Awards, the Hip Hop Awards, and a lot of artists don't. Are you in jail? What is that? It look like a science prison.
Yeah.
Oh, you got fake
Garnett got a background.
You got fake white people working for you. Fake white people working. I like it. Good job. We could. I pitched it to Jesse about the one. I said bars. We never have like best bars competition. Like somebody probably make a hit record, but it'd be 4 or 6 bars that make you be like, I can't believe he said that.
Right?
Do that. But and you put me on the spot right now. But we making some nice music, man. If it was any way for you to hear a preview or whatever, but we pretty cool. It's really nice over here. I know people.
That's why I asked for a bar. DeRay, let me get a bar.
I love that you keep doing this to me. Oh my God. What should we pull up? Pull up something.
You can't give me a bar from the
Just
top
me
right
saying
now.
A bar? Oh my God.
Send it to our email.
I'm literally in here with doing 5 records at once. I'm trying to think in my head of what record. Oh my God. What? I know. Oh my God. You got me embarrassed a little bit. I can't lie.
It's okay. You don't got to do it.
Well, okay.
I play it low though, so they can hear it though, so they could get a vibe. Let them hear it. Let me hear the sound, so they know it's not the hip, the hop, the hibbit to the hibbit. Because I'm very prideful. So when you say like, I don't want to dog my brothers who do comedy as well, but I'm really, it's really different. Like, and the vibe I get from it is the same. Like when I play it for people, like at first it's like, I don't know, it's DeRay, and then it's like, oh shit. So when I got Snoop there saying, I knew I played a lot of good records because he said, everything that you make ain't for you, right, DeRay? That's when I knew I had a good vibe happening. And everybody's
gonna come out like they call me DeRay DAVI.
No. Ain't no shoulder shimmying for me. Nah, man. I ain't even go to college. I can't do no Kappa moves at all. No shit. No, really, pull it up. Pull up girls in the back real quick.
You want to rap or you want me to unmute your rap?
Yeah, you can mute it. Because we didn't start it.
You don't got to do it. I was joking with you. I don't want to embarrass you or anything.
No, it's not. It's really fucking actually good. You want to play it, Sam?
Yeah. Our email.
Can y'all hear that?
Mm-hmm. I like this already.
Hey, Samir.
Hot damn hole you eat. That boy got another one. If I ain't fucking her, I'm fucking with a friend. And women love him cause it ain't no hoe in hand. Nah, no way, and it's never been. You can be just like me even if you was my friend. Bitches wanna rap it.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, DeRay.
Hey, break up that work rate for real quick since we got 2 seconds left. The one BJ just did. So my nephew, since he's been a phenom since he was young, like people always say, and I really been pushing him through the years and making him work hard, but since he was like 3, 4, he was just musical. His dad's a nice producer, a good producer, does a lot of gospel, but he's an incredible writer. So this is his first time as a grown man out here working with me. So it's weird, like this little nigga was like literally begging for change, like it's crazy to see them grown. So it also makes you feel old. Like, should I be in this motherfucker with you? Play the one the BJ did.
Rumble in the jungle, never forget to stay humble. Body count up in numbers. Fuck 'em. All you gonna speak or gonna mumble. Pass me the bag, never fumble. Real nigga never seen me crumble. I came with commas. Don't you play with me, I play with numbers. Save my saving just to save my mama. King of Papa, if you play, I pop you. But killing niggas just don't kill the problem. Gotta find another way to solve them. Ghetto guy, but I can keep it proper. Still remains, I can see the watches. The life that I live, they do anything to get it. The shoes that I'm in, they do anything just to feel it. Know that I want it, now that you know that I did. I did it, bitch, I'm winning. Fuck up, fuck up.
It's a waste of my time explaining what's mine. I stayed on my grind. I paid all my fines and my taxes. I'm lying. I'm spending on bitches and bottles and flying. Watching my watches, they one of a kind. I don't do no coke, but I stood in white lines. I spend it on something that's sexy and shine, but I swear on my mama is fine. I did I am unstoppable. My dope uncoverable. Don't worry like Curry from distance and Super Bowl. Shoot like a copper do. In my pockets, they swelling away. Land of the lost and the paddles that love what they love and they hate. If it's fuck me, then fuck you, you know what they say. Like that I live.
Yay. You pay your taxes out here. I like it.
Did you hear the line?
No,
He said I stood in white lines, but I don't do no coke. I love that.
I said I'm paying my tax. Wait, I pay I pay all my fines and my taxes. I'm lying. I spend it on bitches and bottles and flying. I hope the IRS don't slow that shit down.
Right. Use it in court.
Yeah, man. But this is fun, man. And I think about my days and what I've invested in. A lot of times we do that. We invest in so much of the celebrations because we didn't get a lot of celebrations growing up, especially as Black kids. And if we did get them, it had to be your birthday or something to really celebrate things. So when we got older, we spent all our money celebrating. Like anything we get, any little thing, we're like, you only live, we make up YOLO. We say shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if we take that same money and we invest in our dreams rather than wait on somebody to pay for them,
right?
You do good. The fact that I'm in a studio like this, the same studio with other people that are doing real well with their labels are paying for it, makes me feel good within itself. It's like no matter what, legacy wise, this gonna live. And no matter how horrible it is, and although it just happens to be to me good, if I pass and I'm gone, it'll be something living longer than just your material. People got to search. It'll be, by the way, he had a little song or some shit, when Bruce Willis died, they're gonna pull up his record. Jamie Foxx died, they're gonna pull up their records. They're gonna have your comedy playing in the clubs. Yeah. So I want to leave a little bit more legacy. And what better thing than my voice, you know what I'm saying? And I write my shit. I don't got no help. I don't have a nigga in writing for me. And it's artists who are superstars who have people writing their shit. Yeah. Rappers, superstars who can't put the song together like that. So it's fun. It's all fun collectively to me. Snowfall, this shit, wilding out. It's a ride, man. It's a sexy ass surfboard.
Listen,
it's the only surfing I do. I'm a Black dude. I ain't been on the water. I seen my daughter almost get ate by a shark, and I literally left her there. I was like, if this is what God wants. I pointed and said, I was in about 3 feet of water. They were surfing. I pointed and said, I think I see a shark. And that's the last thing she seen with these fingers. I was headed the other way. Then she got mad at me when she got, it don't matter. We cool now. That was some years ago in Hawaii, but shouldn't have been the fuck out there. Sorry.
If it's in God's will.
Yo, man, if that's God's will,
use that.
Hey, Black people, you get hurt. Your mom always said that's what you get.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So you get bit, that's what you get. Ain't nothing like a little shark bite to build character. Nothing like a little nub to remind you to listen to what your daddy said.
Look, put a little alcohol on it, you'll be all right.
I'm a huge fan, DeRay, by the way. Your stand-up comedy, it's not surprising to see you actually doing music. And it's good music, by the way.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you sound phenomenal over these records, man. I know you knew Kanye early on, being from Chicago and all of that. You know, your skits on College Dropout is classic to me, man. Like, so
Thank
that's
you,
what I
man.
say. It's not really like it's you always was around it. Can you just speak about, I guess, knowing him early on? You know, how did you even like? You was impersonating Bernie Mac. You did a damn good
Yeah,
job.
man.
Yes,
Right.
'cause I didn't know
That's
that was
before
until recently.
I had never done an impersonation ever in my life. And it's good I did that because that led to me getting on the Boondocks and Black Dynamite, the cartoon, and any
Yeah.
other voiceover work I've done from Jeep commercials. It was all stemmed because of Kanye's album. Um, I think energy wise, everybody trying to get it when you first meet. So you have an idea of where you want to be and you see people with the same energy. So I knew no matter what he was going, there's we can go. That wasn't my first time in the car hearing Kanye. When the reason I was able to even go get him because I had listened to the world record holders, him, GLC. I had listened to they mixtapes over and over. And I remember being at the comedy club telling Kanye, come on stage. And he's like, nah, he was shy. Nah, sure. But I knew the record was super huge because I championed the record all the time. We went to a club back in the day. I want to say it was Los Palmas, and we were standing outside, and Through the Wire came on, and me and Kanye standing outside. I'm like, the fuck? So me being DeRay, how I be, I was like, yo, why we still outside waiting? He's like, we gonna get right with it. No. His song playing right now.
Right.
He need to be in there right now. That's how
Right.
he need to be in that motherfucker right now. And they let Kanye in and made me stand outside. But it's all right. I waited for the song. I caught the fade out part, but that was a cool moment, man. But no one could think like even in my wildest dreams though, as far as him billionaire status in regards of anything's inflated or not, the fact you're even put on that plane with those kind of people, the fact that they even consider you, the fact that you can even be on Forbes to any capacity is a big deal. So I'm glad that music carried him to be able to do more things he wanted to do. They've always been fashionable kids, all them dudes, man. Him, Don C, even John Monopoly. The way he dressed now a little off, but Monopoly had some style. He had his glasses back in the day. Cootie and Chike, them guys been hustling forever.
Do you think people from Chicago, do you think you guys get the credit you guys deserve? Like, you know, when people talk about people who influence the industry, like
Heavy.
music and fashion and stuff, they talk about like New York and LA. I think Philly's getting like a big shout out right now. But do you feel like Chicago gets the same shine or any shine at all these days?
I think due to Kanye, and if you got to but the messed up part, you have to put a name with the reference of fashion. But Chicago's always had his way of fashion. That we've been overly, we've been in our suits before, and we the snakeskin shoes and everything. I know we had our moments.
Looking like pimps.
But I think that the way it's transitioned lately, just across the board, the Midwest has always been a melting pot for that without separating the culture as much. Sort of like New York, it's a cult, you know, they separate the cultures a lot, and then you get the blend, you know, a little bit, and but people grasp on the what's theirs. I think Chicago, we don't really have that. We share a lot. You know, you just see it happening in the fashion game. You see the ideas happening, and it's not as crazy cutthroat as it is what New York is. Come on, man, billions of dollars are transferred
very territorial
as fashion go, and LA is you know, you got the basketball teams were here, and the actors were here. You know, Chicago had the gangsters. Organized crime was happening in Chicago. Those guys were getting fitted for suits, so they wasn't, you know, and hip hop originated in New York. So we still was trying to make things our own, which related to the baggy jeans, the Pele coats and stuff like that.
Yeah, Pele.
About it, but I don't think that we get like completely looked over due to a lot of the fashion icons now are starting to just come from everywhere. And Chicago is definitely a place where people go to fashion school and stuff like that. So,
listen, I saw you on we all saw you on the Kanye West documentary, the video and stuff. Do you remember that day? Do you remember him filming that? And did you know you were going to be in his documentary on Netflix?
Nope. Nope. I think Cootie told me like a couple of days before, he's like, you know, you're in a doc. Well, I was hitting Cootie up because I heard a doc was coming out, and I knew that I had flown him some places, and I knew we had footage. So I was saying, hey man, what's on this doc? Is it any footage you want to discuss with me?
Right.
Not craziness, but just like, hey man, like on some business side. Hey man, I think that's my footage. That's just me being me. But Cootie always, like, from the jump, even though I had heard Kanye, Cootie was the reason why I was in the doc. He's the reason why I knew Kanye. Even the footage that I'm talking about now is because I had built a business relationship with Kanye through Cootie. So when I seen him again and we ride in the car, the music was beyond shocking. Kanye, just to give you a little bit more history, one time I was in Miami, I was getting a deal with Def Squad through Eric Sermon and my manager Bernard at the time. And everybody heard about this deal. That's how rare deals were from Chicago rappers at the time on that level to be with a New York squad like that. And Eric Sermon had me around him all the time. Those guys, Def Squad, I was so excited. And Kanye heard about it. And I was in Miami and he called me and he rapped on the phone for about 45 minutes. This is why I ever heard what he's about to do. He was still producing. He's like, I'm gonna do this. He's like, no, give me a minute. One more. Let me get it. And I was just like, damn. And in my mind at that time, I said, damn, I'm really not prepared. I was like, if this is how niggas gotta be rapping.
My bar isn't gonna make it. My one bar.
He
45 minutes.
Like, he won it. He's way better. He's way more seasoned. He made the beat too. I'm sitting there like, holy shit.
You had a whole concert. That was a whole concert. 45 minutes.
Right. But I think that you still seeing, I was still excited. You're just excited for anybody from Chicago. And I'm happy that I made the doc because it did remind me of the grind with seeing everything happening as adults and whatever he's dealing with family and whatever we're talking about with issues, whether they be mental or experimental. It's good to see him in that light when he was shined upon by his mom more. And there's some people on earth that really need their mamas. There's niggas like me who, I ain't asked my mama for $10 for no money since I was 10 years old. Maybe 9. I'm guessing saying that because she ain't got no money. I had to go get it myself. So we didn't have that same bond. But I think that the mothers, although we always say that we need the fathers, I think a lot of the mothers were super strong and overlooked. And this is one of those times where he didn't overlook it, but we as a people overlooked that he needed a woman. And if you think about how Kim was, she really was family oriented until everything hit off. She really was a family girl, raised with her parents, whether it was a divorce, is still fed back into the natural what a family's supposed to be. So he cleans and stuff like that. Yeah. In his wild days, they had a good time. I think him and Amber was sexy. I think him and everybody was dating as a rapper, as couples. I think they brought stars to each other's shine. You know what I'm saying? But I think Kim is what they put over top, and he was able to build a family with it too. It was one of those, and I think that really shifted him to now. Because you think as a Black man, I need a family. And you don't care, you work in your money so you can get your family and spend time with your family. Then you get everything, and your family's like, oh, you don't spend enough time. You're like, I've been trying to do this. Even with moms and women too. Like, what you talking about? Working on my bachelor. He like, oh, I went to the strip club. You ain't here dancing no more. You ain't cooking. It's like, I've been trying to be a lawyer to get your ass out of jail, nigga.
Wait, so DeRay, you mentioned Kim, and I know you and Kanye are cool. So I just have to ask, have you ever had Kim's cooking before?
I've not. I've probably seen Kim 3 times in my life, and once she might
because
deny
remember
this,
when those pictures came out.
She's not cooking, Dexter. She's not cooking, Dexter.
She might deny this, but me and her were together on a Southwest flight. I know Billy. She might have owned the airline at the time. Maybe she knew she was gonna marry Kanye. It was Kim Southwest. But that's the only time. But no, I've never had her food. I wasn't invited to that. I'm sure the food was $400 a plate though.
Right.
Man,
I wish I would cook some shit for people to talk about. I cook good too, but I wish I would post my plate. Your plate ain't supposed to look sexy. We threw this plate together. Ain't nobody there. You ain't got nobody serving the food. Well, Kevin Hart has people serving the food because he's small and they have to like.
Your food ain't supposed to look dry though either, DeRay.
Some foods you gotta add water. even our food. Like sometimes
add olive oil.
Don't act like nobody on here then ran some water over before you microwave it. You run a little water over it.
I do put a little water on the towel before I microwave it, or a paper towel. Keep it moist.
You wet it. You do that with faucet water. Then you get you a bottle of water out the refrigerator like an idiot.
Right.
You're sitting there eating that tap water.
I'm a huge fan of what you got going on too with Snowfall, man. It's really good seeing you transition, from being a comedian. I know they probably want to put you in a box with that, and then transition over to the drama side. And your character Peaches is hilarious, by the way. I think you nailed it.
Thank you, man.
Yes.
It was a shock because not a shock, but it's shocking to see myself be able to stand still We move so much as comics. On stage, you move around live. We're very animated. We got to paint the picture. We got to be the TV show, be the characters. On there, once I learned from John Singleton and Dave Andron, who's the other producer, who they thought, what is he going to do after John died? And he's carried it well. As far as the stories going, all the characters have been, the curves are amazing. The arcs are lovely. I'm happy to be able to stand still, and I'm happy that people see me acting by the silence rather than me talking. See, if I talk too much, you're gonna be like, oh, he's about to be funny and he can fuck this line up. But if I shut the up and be there and embody the moment and learn as I'm watching, as I'm listening, learning from those actors who got all those monologues. And it made me a stronger actor. It helped me. I'm on The Shy now. I did maybe working on my 4th episode next week. And they're monologues, I'm talking on there, but I'm also funny on there. And that's a twist. So I'm glad that I was able to watch the work on Snowfall and learn something from being there with those guys. Damson, Eamon, those dudes are strong, man. Even when Melvin came in for that short stint, he killed that character. He killed Man Boy. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you about John Singleton because I spoke to him and Damson Idris before the show even launched, before we knew what it was going to be. Did you get any time with him, or did you come in after he passed? Did you get any guidance from him at all?
Always. He's been one of my best friends for years and years. When they were going to remake or make a sequel to Baby Boy, I was one of his top picks. He the one who taught me how to act. I remember I met Taraji years ago, and I used to be kind of cocky. Used to be. I'm stupid. And I met her, and I walked up to her, and I was like, "You that girl from Baby Boy?" I gave this, and she looked at me like, "Nigga, who the fuck is you?" And I was like, "This in Hollywood, not knowing how to talk to fucking superstars." And she forgave me. And then John let her know that he was going to read someone for a part of a movie he was doing. I went in and read, and I was nervous because it's fucking Taraji. And I read the best I can, and it made me do it again. But after that, she was like, "Yo, DeRay, you could really act." And the fact she said that. And after that, many times roles have come up where she tried to get me involved from some Tyler Perry projects and other stuff. So that helped a lot. And just knowing the company that John kept around him, it put me in that light of theirs. They probably would have never seen me with those glasses that John wore, those thick ass glasses, if John wouldn't have introduced me because of my attitude. John was a great filter for me to filter into with these great actors, the Tyreses, the Tarajis, the people he's worked with, the Terrence Howards, the Ice Cube, even him calling Mark Wahlberg for me for a project before. And we spent a lot of time together. And before I read Damson for that. I was already cast. I was cast originally as Jerome.
What?
So I shot the first pilot. They did a big launch, all in the trades with me and Lauren London. She played Louie.
Oh wow.
Yeah, if you look up the picture, it'll say now DeRay Davis and Lauren London cast as those. And then Eamon came in, that pilot got scrapped or whatever. Eamon came in and did what he do, and there's no way I could do with the shit he did.
Yo, he's a beast on that show.
He does his thing. I'm gonna tell the world one day when it's all over, but he does that. He's just great. So that's why I was happy when I came in as Peaches as well. But I've been knowing John for a while. So when he called me, said I got this role, and I was mad at him. What the fuck you mean this little role? I want the same money. Aggressive the way DeRay is, and he was like, "Hey, calm down. It's gonna be it's a nice part." And it was off the jump. I was comfortable because one, I hadn't learned to hold my own with actors like that, and two, I didn't have to by not having to talk a lot. I just had to shoot motherfuckers. For some reason, I was good at that.
Well, I like the evolution this season. I didn't watch yesterday. It's on my DVR, but I was just saying to my friend earlier.
Same.
I had an event yesterday, but
I was in the studio. I said same. I don't have no excuse really, but I was in the studio with no music out. It's cool, girl.
But I was like, we were talking about it, like, what's going on with Peaches? I was like, he can't have COVID because it's COVID.
It's COVID. I'm the first.
But I love the evolution of the character and the role that you have in Snowfall. And again, now to have this whole background thing going on. My friend was like, nothing, that's why what's the name sent them home and said, I was like, no, but it's something. I feel it. It's something happening, and I can't wait to see.
Well, I went week to week, and I do this sometimes anyway. Even with sometimes movies, I'll read those scripts, but I'd rather be surprised. So when they send me a script, I'm like, nah, I'll wait. I don't even do the table reads.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because it's that on edge for me right now of what's going on. Like I'm literally like, I want to watch it when y'all watch it.
Mm-hmm.
How fast do you learn lines? You're not even practicing.
What lines? You see me on what I'm talking. I'm starting.
You be having a couple lines. They've been upgrading you.
No. What I do is, as far as the monologues I have on the shout out to Lena too. Lena just put me on that. Good. She didn't have me come read because that woman makes me nervous too. She's a powerhouse. But I can't really explain. It's like like right before you take the test, you read the book. No, I'm lying. I have to listen to it. I don't want to sound stupid. That's why I want to put this out here. Like I have to record it and I have to put it in my headphones and I have to listen to it. I don't know what other actors have to do that. I've never said that in an interview before, but I have to hear me saying it to make sure it sounds like something I'd say without drag a word or something, because if I try to say it the way you say it, like there's some words. I had an audition the other day and I've never said a word like this before. I've never said pecuniary. I've never said that shit in my life. So I had to hear me say it like reading Rainbow. And then I got it. But the lines have to feel like a song. Everything I do has to feel like music, no matter what I'm doing. It has to feel like it's flowing, And that's how I like I love horror, and horror has those beats all the time. A good horror has those beats, and I want whatever I do, whether it be drama or comedy, to have those same that same music in my head. So that helps me remember my lines.
That actually makes perfect sense, because I mean, we read textbooks and all that stuff. We don't remember that, but we remember a song. We remember.
Yeah, I know. Are you kidding me? Kids know songs before they know the alphabet.
For sure.
Right.
Which is why they made the alphabet a song.
Right.
Yeah, perfect sense. I think it's hilarious, man, because I literally was going to bring this up too. I really feel like you could have played Jerome. I think Jerome is the most hilarious dude on TV.
And that's what it started as, but I feel like his comedy, Eamon's a fucking psychopath too. I can't wait till you see all these guys be funny. Like Eamon, Damson, and Damson can sing too. Ask that nigga to sing when y'all get him.
I have heard him sing
his ass off. So
he does impersonations too. He did Kendrick Lamar.
He got to sneak it in the impersonation. Yep. He got to sneak it in that shit. But I want to see those. Eamon has this comedy about him that's more firm, and it's not reaching. Where, like I said earlier, we're used to being on stage. I'm used to instant gratification. I say something, the audience laughs. I'll tell you a joke, you better laugh. It's give and go. Where Eamon's delivering this shit and it's internal until we go, oh, that's some funny shit. Smack your daddy. Like shit like that. You're like, what the fuck? Smack your daddy. And it's tone. I couldn't, if you think about it, me saying that, it'll sound clowny. Even in my
because I laughed when you said it just now.
Yeah. Imagine me being that nigga saying, smack your daddy. Go on here, smack your daddy. Like, I was too embarrassed and too shy to even create a character the way he did with that back then. Like now, I mean, I do it with my comedies. I could do it from 21 Jump Street to The Cleaner to Barbershop. Barbershop was terrible. But I created
you think so?
Yeah, this was my first movie. I didn't know how to act, nigga. I wasn't even supposed to come in the shop in Barbershop. I was supposed to lean my head in. I came in the shop so many times, missing my mark. Tim Story just brought the camera back and said, let's just get this nigga coming in. He don't understand what the fuck a mark is. He's going to keep coming. He's like, DeRay, it's okay. And then I was like, what I'm doing wrong? I literally had my daughter on set. I was clowning. I didn't know what acting was. I ain't got no babysitter, nigga. Shit. I'll be acting like I ain't got no child support in a minute. But I'll say that it's that Eamon just played it. Eamon had it, and I wouldn't change it. I would never change whatever this roller coaster I'm building myself, the career, because there's a lot of roles I've gotten semi-pro that I shouldn't have had. That even Peaches, they had some strong guys reading, regardless of what John's promise to me was. Hollywood don't promise nothing.
Right.
So I'm great.
I was gonna ask, was there ever a movie that you wanted or you read for that you didn't get and then kind of came out and you're like, damn, I was supposed to be in that?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I thought I was gonna play the Rock's role in G.I. Joe. That's how deep that goes. Yeah, I auditioned. I there's a lot of roles, but it's the 50-50. There's also some movies that I was supposed to be in. I thought that they were working out. It didn't work out. And I saw a movie like, thank God.
Right.
I'm sitting there watching like, oh my God. But I've had some films definitely that I felt bad about. I feel I didn't work harder on, or you didn't take it serious.
Mhm.
One of the funniest roles I didn't take serious was I read for Avatar. And
What?
yeah,
Wow.
they had this weird ass language that they were talking to, whatever they're saying. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And that motherfucker Laz Alonso went in there and he's a multi-language Italian, Spanish, speaking ass nigga. He got it.
He
That's how
said,
played it.
"Duda."
And I think the role was Tsume, whatever his name was, but he killed that shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's something I cannot do that God had for him. But I'll go do Semi-Pro. I'll go do 21 Jump Street. I'll go do The Fog. I'll go do, those are my roles. They were meant for me. So
How High 1 and 2?
2. I didn't get, but How High is a funny. I didn't get How High 1. I got I auditioned to play the guy they were smoking with but he was popping in Hollywood at the time. I auditioned to be their friend who died, who they smoked, and I didn't get it. So that's why I can't think of her name at the moment. Shana Gar. I was really always funny to her. She called me for part 2. She's like, there's no way in the world I'll make part 2 without calling DeRay.
Wow.
So that's how I got to be Big Bang.
So you're on the No Cap comedy tour. Carlos Miller, DC Young Fly, Little Duval, Michael Blackson, Chico Bean. Out of all of these guys, and obviously yourself, out of all of these guys, who do you enjoy watching their stand-up the most?
Oh, wow, man. First of all, y'all welcome for this tour because that's me. Because although we have superstars on the phone and on the tour, it's hard to get people together like that.
Right. You're like the new kings of comedy, all you guys.
Yeah.
One, the promoters break us up so much, and there's these promoters who are others who it's a little bit of it's hard to say because I come from promoters I guess point of view. I promoted since I started. I started comedy. I bought a comedy club early. I've always done shows. I do shows in Chicago. I promote my own shows. I don't need no money. I don't need no AG, no Live Nation. So this brother named Blake wanted to put this show together. 85 South Show was on another show. Their tour guide dropped for the promoter. We were putting this together with me and Duval. Duval will only do the tour if I was going for comfortability. Michael Blackson, trust me, as a host, he was only going with me because they know I'm gonna run the show correctly. And I was able to get those boys on the phone one by one and say, yo, let's get this done. Let's get this done. I'll take a pay cut. We need to get this done because this is something that's crazy. And after I finally talked to DC and he locked it in and I told him, yo, you gonna close this shit strong? He was like, word. Like we sat down, get everybody timing down, and that shit's been feeling like heaven.
That's awesome.
All them boys. So it's hard to say because you're really going to a multicultural comedy vibe. Yeah. And I don't mean culture like in melanin. I mean, everybody was raised different. Everybody talking different. Of course, we have similarities as Black people that bring us together, that tie it all together. But end of the day, this is one of the biggest tours I would have been on. And I've been on tour with Martin, who's arenas as well, but it's Martin Lawrence. He is the star. This is giving us a platform for all of us to be the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New edition back together, nobody on coke. I don't know if anybody
shows
I don't know if anybody did coke back then, but I know I'm gonna get a text tomorrow from one person. Maybe one guy's gonna hit me up. I don't know which one it's gonna be. And maybe I don't know which one it is, and they're gonna tell on themselves when they hit me. No, I'm saying, but I don't know. And maybe Duval do a little coke. But no, I'm joking. He barely started smoking weed. But I love it's a powerhouse, man. We the Avengers, no lie. We the Avengers. It feel good, man. I'm watching these arenas sell out. Philly need to get their tickets now. Philly, get your tickets.
We're in Philly. We should come to the show.
Yes, I forgot the damn name of the arena, whatever the big ass arena is.
You're at the Wells Fargo Center.
Yeah, go to that, man.
No, I think you're at the Leo Corus Center, actually.
Okay, go to both of them. Then wherever, but buy a ticket, and if you miss out, you should get that gift to somebody. I don't know, but yeah, that sounds more familiar to L word.
The Leo, it's the Leo Corus Center.
So get y'all tickets. Is Philly's crazy, man, because it's like one of the biggest ones. I think it's almost 10,000 in there.
They're gonna come out. That's in North Philly. They're gonna come out.
Yeah, and it's in North Philly and in North Philly. Anyways, them niggas go to their shows, so yeah.
You getting COVID in there,
whether they got tickets or not, they show up.
Exactly.
Everybody knows somebody in Philly. I'm sorry.
So how do you stay out of trouble? Like, you know how like a lot of like celebrities they stay on like the shade room and stuff like that. And I feel like you haven't been on there in like a very long time. Like, how do you manage to stay out of trouble? Because I feel like people like search for you guys to like put your
Yeah,
business
man,
out
it's
there.
it's kind of scary, but I think that if you look back, other than Power Play, where there's not many times where I've talked about something without one sound like I'm defending myself. Two, if I didn't believe in it,
Mhm.
it wasn't really funny to me anyway. So some comics just talk, and that's how they get themselves in trouble. If it don't come from a real place, there's no way you can defend it. There's no one you can say, this is why I feel like this.
Mhm.
My brother gay. No, you got to be. It has to come from a true place. So if you're cracking a joke, you got to sincerely have people you've been around, and you're talking about true experiences. People don't feel as offended because it's a true story.
Mhm.
It's like if you're in a hospital and someone dies, and you're talking about your friend in the hospital who got out. That person who died in the hospital, their people can't be offended because you're telling your story. My cousin survived COVID, but
Right.
it's not going to be as funny to you. So, but this still doesn't mean you have to come for me or be upset that you don't live the life I live. So I think I do a good job walking that line. I can't say, because sometimes trouble come for you. So you saying like you ain't been in trouble, that shit get you in trouble. I got a story, so nigga can't wait to watch this and say he got a story. But
I heard you
think
got
that,
2 girlfriends. That's why.
what that wouldn't keep me out of trouble.
We're not gonna see you running around with no groupies or nothing like that. You got 2 girlfriends.
I think that everyone around me is comfortable with the fact that I'm a fly ass nigga and there's gonna be girls around. I think there's gonna be women around for the rest of my life. If that could be what it is, my happiness don't rely on sex. It's about the vibes around me, and things get sexual with the queens, and it feels right. It has to feel right, just like it felt when I met them, just like when I seen them in the club and your heart skipped a beat for that moment. That got to feel the same. Other than that, the friendship is the only lock. That's the thing that keep us dope around here. That's the thing that I think even my exes, other than a couple of them I can think about, and that's because of they new nigga that they can't talk to me. But for the most part, if we had rough times, we had arguments, we realized we were young and we we're growing through things. Everybody don't know everything. Relationships don't last as long. The internet has a big effect on relationships.
Mhm.
If you don't sit around and discuss these things, you're gonna hear from other places, and that's gonna make you uncomfortable.
Right.
So why, if I got girls all in the studio, don't I call my girls first and be like, yo, there's some girls in here. So when they come, no one's surprised, no one's upset. If they got an ex coming in town, like, yo, dude might be at this club, let me know. Let me be in the vicinity. Let me get a fake smile on my face. I don't care how tall, handsome the nigga is. Let me be in my bag as the king for the moment. You know what I'm saying? I think it's about conversations. And financial too. If you broke, let a motherfucker know.
That's not gonna work, DeRay.
Most relationships end because of financial situations.
But if you tell someone up front I'm broke, you're not gonna be in that relationship.
Why not? If they might be like, we both broke, let's hustle. Or what are you working toward to get to a place? I like you for how you are right now. I know I'm gonna like you even better once you get the bread, but don't do that. But yeah, I'm very situated at the crib.
I like that term. I'm very situated.
Spoken just like a Chi-Town player, man.
Nah, I ain't no player. I got 6 sisters. I just know better.
He don't need to be a player. He got 2 women. He calls them when other women are in the studio. You have the life right now.
He's
hey, man,
situated.
I'm the one being used over here, okay?
DeRay, thank you so much, man.
I appreciate y'all.
You're in the studio and you gave us so much time. Thank you for playing your music.
I ain't rapping about nothing. I ain't talking about shit. I'm just old. Just want to do something. No, man. No, yeah. I appreciate y'all.
We really appreciate you. We're gonna watch you on the Shy, on Snowfall, the No Cap Comedy Tour, and all the other stuff that you're working on as well.
Yeah, I see y'all, man. Y'all get y'all tickets. Let me know if y'all don't get none. I know somebody that's selling them. All right. No, I'm kidding. Y'all all good. Y'all on the list.
Okay, I'm gonna hit y'all up for that.
I'm serious.
We gonna come through.
Hit me soon. No. I know you. You like to wait till March 18th. Day of show. Come on, some we outside. We outside.
Right.
No, what the hell? Remember you said you them kind of tickets. Remember you said
right. All right, I'm gonna hit you soon. Okay.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Oh, the name of my group is Super Boots, by the way.
Super Boots.
Super Boots. SOOPABOOTS. My nickname Boots, and I've been doing some super things lately. So Super Boots.
Bye, Super Boots.
Thank you. All right, y'all.
DeRay Davis, ladies and gentlemen, musician, comedian, actor, producer, funny guy.
Very situated.
Yes.
You heard it, right? You heard him. Very situated.
That's a new one.
Mm-hmm.
He was fun.
Yeah.
I did not know that Avatar thing blew me away. He read for Avatar.
Oh, that's like Avatar. We know how huge not only the movie was, still is.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the different things, like that's just like that really is a mind blowing moment. Like I think we all were like,
right.
I mean, he had a positive outlook on it. He said, I did this, but like, Jesus, you got to be looking at it like, God.
Yeah, but you saw how he looked at it. He said it wasn't for me. The person who came in, he felt comfortable doing the lines and reading it in different languages. So he understood, okay, this is a great part, but it just wasn't for me. All you can do is show up and do your best, right?
Right.
If you don't get it, you don't get it. You got to be like, okay, that wasn't for me. I'm gonna go over here and do Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? So it's like your opportunities will line up for you depending on where you're supposed to be.
Right.
I was super like, I really was like, when I heard that Jerome line, it's like, that makes sense. Like, it makes sense that at least he was picked for. I'm happy he wasn't the actual, person playing the Jerome character, because it gives him, something else in his, what do you call it, portfolio. I like him as being Peaches. But that makes sense. Like he could definitely play that role. But he's also right. That may change the feel of the show. He's actually funny. Like
right, and we're going to expect that.
Exactly. But like Jerome is the funniest dude on TV to me. Like,
but he's that, like he said, is the delivery. He's the funny. Like he's not trying to be funny. He's just funny in these like serious situations. Where DeRay, we would have been expecting like, oh, I'm just supposed to laugh. Yes. So he would have gave some of those serious lines, and we'd be like, okay, I don't get it.
Why are you trying to do it? Yeah.
Right.
Wait, so y'all really knew that was him on Kanye? Because I'm like, when you said it, I'm like, so it's just me that thought that was actually.
No. At the time, right? I mean, I'm younger, so at the time, I'm like kind of like, I don't know who it is, but it's not Bernie Mac, because
that's
Mac
exactly it.
Passed away at the time, but like the cat got out the bag later on. Whereas like,
I didn't know this until 6 days ago. I learned this 6 days ago.
Because I read the credits, because I used to be a Kanye stan. Yeah, you did. And when you used to have a CD and you open up the book, it'll tell you on the little credit thing.
Yeah, I was the same thing, Garnett. I knew it wasn't Bernie Mac. I just didn't know who it was, But
he did a damn good job though, didn't he?
He did.
So.
Yeah, Kanye. All right, y'all. Thank you for listening and watching the 214th episode of the Mina's House podcast. Thank you to DeRay Davis. I'm Mina SayWhat.
I'm Shana B.
Garnett Briscoe.
Stuckey.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.